Hi, boys and girls. Miss Herman is here recording her lesson today because it is map testing. So during the next few weeks, we're going to have to record some of our lessons. Right now I have language arts. Our language arts lesson for this week is our Smart Start week 3. We're going to review days 1 and 2. This is our last week of Smart Start because we've gotten to all the letters and we've gotten to the high frequency words that we needed to review for these 3 weeks and before we start our regular week of language arts. So we are going to start today with practicing reading some sentences. So I'm going to turn my screen around here. All right, boys and girls. So we're going to practice reading this, okay? So the first sentence, I know this is a little weird. I had to turn my screen around, but the first sentence is, hold on, let me try to get my hand over there. There we go. All right, our first sentence is, I see a bike. All right, and boys and girls, remember we talked about how sentences start with capitals and they end with punctuation. So, I see a bike, and it has a period at the end. And then, it is big. Now remember, when it has an exclamation mark, we have to say it with excitement, like, it is big. We don't just say, it is big. We say, it is big. And then our last sentence is, we can ride it together. And this whole paragraph, remember, there's 3 sentences here, so we could call this a paragraph, even though they're sort of not all linked together. We can call this a paragraph because it's 3 sentences and it's all about the same thing about a bike, and we're going to read this story later. You're going to hear this later. But, all right, for now, good job reading those sentences. We are going to start with some blending, okay? I'm going to say a word sound by sound, and I want you to listen carefully. Then I will put the sounds together and I will say a word. So, as a whole word. So we're going to try one. So the beginning sound is k. The ending sound is e. So beginning k, e. When I put it together, it's k, e, key. The word is key. So let's try another one. The beginning sound is b. The middle sound is a. And the last sound, the ending sound is k. So we have b, a, k. B, a, k. Put it all together. Back. The word is back. All right. So you guys can help me with these. So I'm going to say the sounds, and you see if you can figure out the word. Okay. So I'm going to say each sound separately. Ready? K, I, s, k, I, s. What word do you think I'm saying? Kiss. Good job. Let's try this one. K, I, t. K, I, t. What do you think that goes together? What word does it make all together? Kite. Okay, let's try this one. K, I, d. K, I, t. So it's 3 sounds, and if you put the sounds together, k, I, d, k, I, t. Kid. Good job. All right, try this one. K, I, p. So 3 sounds. K, I, p. What do you think? Keep. All right, let's try this one. K, I, k. Try it again. K, I, k. What do you get when you put it all together? K, I, k. Kick. Good work. Let's try another one. O, a, k. O, a, k. What sound do you think Mrs. Herman, word do you think Mrs. Herman's making? O, a, k. Walk. All right, 2 more. Ready? Pa, a, k. Pa, a, k. What word do you think I'm making? Put it all together. Pa, a, k. Pack. Good work. 1 more. S, I, k. S, I, k. Sick. Sick. Good work. All right, so that was taking each word and separating the sounds so you heard each sound in the word. All right. Those words all had something in common, and they all had the letter of today. The letter of today is K. K. And what sound does it make? K. Very good. So the sound K, sometimes I know a lot of people can also make that C sound, C, and sometimes C and K to go together, okay? I wanted to look at your names and see if anyone had a K in their name. So Arjun doesn't, Julia does not, Arya does not, Landon does not, Adelina does not, Hamanthi does not, Tarun does not, Bella doesn't have a K, Camilla doesn't have a K. Camilla, but remember we've talked about sometimes that C does sound like the k, 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 but this one is a C. Gabriella doesn't have a K. Abhinav doesn't have a K. Arv doesn't have a K. We have a K. Ark. Ark. Ark has a K in his name. Maribel does not have a K. Sophia does not have a K. Rory does not have a K. Shabby does not have a K. Declan, there's a C. Duck. Sounds like it, but it's a C sound. It's a C letter this time. Tate. Alvin, no K's. Let's see, anyone else have a K? Tanner doesn't. Anvi doesn't. Athena doesn't. Look at Kenna. Kenna's name starts with a K. So we have, her name starts with a K. This is like my name. My name is Kimberly, or Kim for short. And mine starts like Kenna with a K, the k, k, k sound, Kenna. Aiden does not. Amaya does not. So we only had 2 Ks. All right. So boys and girls, one of my favorite things, an animal starts with a K. Let me give you some hints. They live in Australia. They're usually like gray. They have big puffy ears. They have very sharp claws. I'm gonna bet that you guessed it. It is a koala bear, and koala starts with K. All right. Our other letter today is U. U. This is one of those vowels. We've talked about our 5 vowels, A, E, I, O, U. And we have learned A, E, I, O. And so this is the last one that we have, U. And the sound that U makes is what? Ah, very good. Like umbrella. When you put umbrella up, ah. Okay. Let's go through your names again. See if anyone has a U. And look at this first one. Arjun. He has a U. All right, let's see. Oh my goodness, Julia, she has a U too. Wow, okay, we didn't have any, and right away, our first 2. Nope, no Arya, Landon doesn't, Adelina doesn't, Hamanthi does not. Tarun has one too. Remember we talked about how vowels are helping, and they're in a lot of words, and that's sort of what we're finding out. See, A, E. So vowels are helpers, and they are in a lot of words. So we're seeing a lot of vowels, Camilla, Gabriella, but not U's. Abhinav, Arv, Ark, Maribel. I don't see any U's. Sophia, Rory, Shabby, Declan, Tate, Alvin, Tanner, Anvi, Athena. Is that our last one? Kenna? Aiden, and Amaya. No more U's. We had a few U's, but boys and girls, U, like I was saying before, U is a helper. Again, how many vowels do we have? 5. What are they? Can you say them with me? A, E, I, O, U. Let's do them again. A, E, I, O, U. So we're learning our last one, the U. And U can be at the beginning of letters. It can also be in the middle of letters. Like I said, it was a helping letter. Vowels are helping. So a lot of times you're going to find them in the middle of letters. All right. So I'm going to put my K. Oops, sorry. I'm going to put my K and my U up here for these new letters that we've learned. We have learned so many letters. All right, and while we're at it, I'm going to tell you about our high frequency words. Our high frequency words this today is four, and we stick our 4 up here. Like I want a pink bicycle for my birthday. So, or this is for you, like you're giving it to somebody. Our other high frequency word of the week, or of today, sorry, is R. R. It almost looks like just the letter R, but A and E, there's our vowels. They are helping the R say the whole word. R. R. And we also have me. So that's another one. So, boys and girls, we have gotten a whole bunch of letters. Let's look at these letters. We've learned E, B, L. Let's see if I can get you closer. There we go. Okay. U, K, F, C, O, D, H. Let's go over here. S, M, A, T, P, R, N, I. And look at all these words that we have learned. I like, are you saying them with me? He, can, little, where, play, the, you, to, do, this, look, here, we, are, sorry, let me put that down, go, has, is, my, for, me. So, good job reading all those words. Wow. All right. So, we've learned the K and the U letters. We've also talked about our high frequency words for the day, are, me, for. And we've talked about sounding, how you separate each word to make a sound. All right, 2 more things. Talking about what families do together. I have a poster, a little poster over here on my ConnectEd, and I want to share it with you. And it's talking about, think about things that you do as a family. Like, do you go on picnics? Do you go camping? Do you watch TV? Do you play games? Things that you do as a family. So I'm going to come over here, and I have a poster, and it says, our bike. Let me see if I can make this a little smaller. Perfect. All right. Our bike. It says, who is in my family? Okay. So boys and girls, who is in my family? And there it is, a question mark. That means it's asking you something. Who is in my family? My mom, my dad, my cat, and me. What do we like? Our family bike. All right, and there's the family on the bike. So one more time. Our title is called Our Bike. And it says, who is in my family? My mom, my dad, my cat, and me. Remember, there's an exclamation. So, boys and girls, the punctuation, these things are called punctuation. Exclamation marks, question marks, there's question and exclamation, or even sometimes a period. So punctuation is how a sentence has to end. You have to have questions or exclamation marks or periods, which is just the dot without that line. And then sentences have to start with capitals, okay? But again, want to read it with me? Our bike. Okay, ready? Let's do this one. Who is in my family? My mom, my dad, my cat, and me. What do we like? our family bike. And it rhymes. Remember, we've talked about rhyming words? And because look at like and bike, they end I-K-E, I-K-E. They both say Ike, Ike at the end. So they rhyme. We've talked about rhyming words. All right. And so let me turn this around. All right. Okay. All right. So boys and girls, one last thing as we are also finishing up our language arts lesson. We've been practicing sentences last week, writing sentences. And so I want you to practice. If you have some paper, when we're done with this, I want you to try to get some paper, or you know what? You can even do it at the bottom of one of your practice book sheets that you're going to do after this. But I want you to practice writing a sentence. And remember, sentences start with capitals and end with periods. I'm going to give you the sentence. You just have to fill in one letter or one word, okay? So it says, anyone know this word? The. Family. Now I have to go to the next line because I can't fit can here. Can. Okay, I just wrote a sentence. The family can blank, but I'm going to leave that for you to fill in. So you could put in here the family can ride, the family can play, the family can look, watch, anything that you guys want to do. But I want you to practice the family can. And remember, when you're trying to practice writing a word, say the word real slow and write what you hear. Like if I do play, I say it really slow. Sort of like we were talking about earlier when we started our lesson, when we went k, I, t, k, I, t, kite. So you're going to say that. You're sort of doing it opposite, where we're going to say it and write what we hear. So let's say play. The family can play. Ready? What do you hear? Pa, 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 o, a. Play. Pa, o, a. Play. Now, that is awesome. It says the family can play because that is what you heard. This is right. But if some of you know, sometimes you have to have an ending friend, like a vowel, a helper, but this time it's a different letter. Anyone really know what goes with it? A Y. Actually, it's spelled with a Y. But because you are learning, it's okay if you don't add the Y. Because we're learning about how letters go together and how they help each other. But if you leave it off, because that's all you heard, you're right. Because you wrote each sound you hear. So as long as you write down each sound you hear, you are right. Because we haven't learned how to spell these words yet. It's not one of our high frequency words. It's not a spelling word. So as long as you write what you hear, then you are right. All right. The last thing I want to talk to you about is what you guys can do for your practice books. But you know what? I wanted to add another sentence. I'm sorry. If you didn't want to write the family can play, you could write something about our class too. And Mrs. Herman has put this on the weekly work. Our class can. Okay. You know what? Mrs. Herman doesn't think that that's big enough. I'm going to make it bigger. Oh. Okay, there. Our class can. Now, if you want to put like read, write, play, listen, watch, whatever you want to do. Let's say we do read. Read. Maybe you thought, but then some of you want, well, Miss Herman, that looks like red. Oh, that means I probably have another special helper, like maybe read. Maybe that's read. Or maybe there's another helper next to the A. Maybe that's read. But again, as long as you wrote what you heard, okay? So I want you to practice only one of these sentences. You can either practice the family can play or our class can blank. Our class can read. You can, remember, you get to put anything you want here. Whatever you think the family can do and whatever our class can do. This is your sentence. I just want you to write one word to end those sentences. And you could also write it on here if you'd like, okay? Because today you have to work on SS 25, and that is writing the K up here if it starts, okay? If it starts with the K, bat, key, kite. So if it starts with a K, you're going to write a K on the side. If it doesn't, you don't have to write anything. So if bat starts with K, it doesn't, does it? No. So you're not going to put anything. But if key starts with K, you're going to write it, and kite starts with K. Now, this one is a little tricky. Here is that CK we talked about that sometimes helps the K. So sometimes you have the C and the K together. So now it says then say the picture name and write CK if it ends with a K. So we have a stick, stick. So I heard that K, stick. You heard it at the end. So you're going to put CK here. Then you have chair, chair. Nope, I hear R. Then you have a clock, clock. I heard it. So you're going to write CK there because it's where it's at the end of the words. And then here, you get to write a CK here and here and make a new word. And then if you want, you could practice your sentences, the family can blank or our class can. And then you also have to do this side. And this side is talking about the other letter we talked about today, U. So it says if it starts with a U, if the picture starts with U, write U below the word or the picture. So we have umbrella. We have, looks like flowers. We have an arrow pointing up. We have, looks like a pail or a bucket. We have an undershirt, something you wear under your clothes, undershirt. And we have a tree. So if you think you've heard some U's like an umbrella, then you write the U. If not, like flower, you don't write it. Up, undershirt, I think those all start with U if you agree with me. And then here's where U comes in the middle of a word sometimes. So you're going to write here, this U here, and you're going to make that word. Okay? And if you want, you can practice another sentence there. Okay. Boys and girls, that is it for today. You can go start your sentences, and you can go start SS 25 and 26. And I will see you very soon. Thank you, boys and girls.